Nick, welcome to our little podcast today. It's the Nick and Jeff show. We're going to talk about Games of the Year 2024. Is that right?
Games of the Year 2024.
Nick,
Woo!
what's your Game of the Year?
I look forward to this every year. What's my Game of the Year? Oh no. Oh, it's well, I guess skipping all the fat or no, the crap that we
get to it. What's your Game of the Year?
My Game of the Year that I had the most fun with this year is Black Myth Wukong.
That did not work.
Cheers, Cheers, Black Myth Wukong.
I think mine's still Splatoon 3 DLC.
Still Splatoon 3 DLC. So we're including DLC.
Yeah, DLC Game of the Year. Now, Nick, let's get straight to it. We've got some PlayStation. Actually, before we get to it, hey everyone, we're podcasts. You don't have to listen to everything or watch everything on YouTube. You can listen to us on your favorite podcast platforms. It'd be really good if you left a review or left some sort of comment or stars or something, because I want to see if that actually works. So that'll be fun. So please go do that. Makes it the big time.
That'll be the day.
But Nick, we've both got our PlayStation wrap up for 2024. Do you want to go to that first screen on that PlayStation wrap up?
I mean, I'm already on there, but
you're already there. I had to click some other button. All right, the magic of the editing, which I actually found that maybe it's more stressful than I thought it would be.
Stay focused, Jeffrey. Focused.
Nick.
Although I do I think this is the first time of me actually seeing this screen of yours. And funnily enough, your first game for the year is my last game for the year.
Oh, Alan Wake 2.
Pretty funny.
You know what I've also noticed, Nick? Oh, there was some other screen where it had the PlayStation Pro on yours.
Oh, yes.
And I don't have the Pro. That's the Pro now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, yours does. Yeah, your screen has the Pro rotating around.
So the first game I played was Alan Wake 2, and yours was Final Fantasy 16?
16.
So you've got to count my Roman numerals. Well, Nick, Alan Wake 2, which I think came out really late, maybe October or November. I was late to the party.
Yeah.
I was definitely late, because it had the Game of the Year dance off or whatever on Jeff Keighley's thing.
Yeah, it was so good. Made me so happy that was there.
I just want to say, I know this is last year's game, but I like Saga a lot more than I like Wake.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Wait, Final Fantasy 16 was not this year either.
No, I don't think
that was last year.
Actually,
wasn't
it wasn't. Yeah, it also was last year. Yeah, just things that we just didn't get to till the end of the year. That's pretty funny, actually. Well, even my Switch game, when we get to that, is the first game I played for the year was Super Mario RPG.
Can you summarize Final Fantasy 16 in a sentence or two?
I don't think my summary is that I don't think I'm ever going to play another Final Fantasy again.
Oh, except Rebirth Part 3?
Except for 7. I got to finish off the trilogy of 7 and then I'm done. It was very very flashy. It was there was a lot of stuff going on in 16, but it's just I feel like the moment to moment gameplay was just really boring.
I mean, it looked cool that one time I watched you play it. Nick,
yeah,
I'm gonna make sure to keep us on track. Next screen, your top 5 games. Both of us finished Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Both got 48 trophies, so that means you didn't get the platinum either. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at my screen twice. You got 54 trophies. Does that mean you got the platinum?
Yeah, dude. No, I didn't.
Do you have to? Don't you have to do all of Johnny's little trials or something?
You have to do get all of Johnny's little side missions, and then do all of Chadley's challenges as well. And I'm just I got the platinum for Final Fantasy 7, the remake, and that was probably the hardest platinum trophy I think I've ever had to get in my life, and I'm good.
You're good?
I don't want to go through that again. It was so traumatizing that I don't want to do that again ever.
Nick, we both got number 2, Black Myth Wukong. I like how it says the time here, 50. Oh well, actually, I've spent 97 hours on Rebirth. You spent 137. Whoa. And then I guess Black Myth Wukong, you've nearly doubled my time, but you did get the platinum. You finished it 3.5 times.
Yeah, three times, and I started the fourth, but I'll get back to that eventually. I'll finish the fourth later.
50 hours of Final Fantasy 16. I feel like it's short for an RPG, but it feels still like too much.
Well, it's like it's only 29 trophies. I don't know what percentage of the trophies it was, but like I was not fussed with doing any of the side missions, or I even had to do a little bit of grinding to get through some of the main quests, and it was a very intense game, and it just I don't know. It was fine, but I just don't need any more. Like there was 50 hours. 50 hours of there was a lot of just there was a lot of monotony, and there was a lot of boring side quests, and I felt like none of it was really overly important. Like yeah.
All right, what is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot? And I'm pretty sure that's not even a last year game. It's got to be the year before.
No.
2022.
No, I think even way before that. I'm pretty sure it was a PS4. It was a PS4 game.
Oh,
It was a
right.
play. Yeah, it was. So I tried to play Kakarot, obviously way back when, and it was one of those games that I bought and played 2 hours of and was like, nah, this isn't for me. It was a bit chunky and they were cloggy, and the side quests were really boring. And I was just like, nah, this isn't for me. I'll come back when they've polished it in a few years. So I bought the PS5 up-res version for like $14, and I bought it because I was really excited for Sparking Zero. And I was like, I'll play a little bit of this. And then something about it, I just got really addicted to it. It was like the 2024 version of Legacy of Goku, which I played on the Game Boy back in the day.
Oh, yeah, Legacy of Goku 2, man, that rocked.
Yeah. And so it was just really fun to relive this, like, I guess relive or rewatch the story. I do that every few years. So instead of watching the anime, I played the game, and really fun leveling up Goku, learning new moves. And I just got really addicted to it. And I highly rate it. Eventually something just kind of clicked after that first sort of 2 hours. I mean, there's a little bit of tediousness, like the combat's not overly deep and whatever, but it was just fun to play. I had a lot of fun playing Kakarot. Hmm.
Yeah, Nick.
But I'm surprised. I guess well, all the games that I've got on here are significantly longer. So you've got 97 hours into Final Fantasy, 51 hours into Wukong, and then the other games are 17 hours, 12 hours, and 10. Because I'm like, why is my Astrobot not on here? But I guess if we both spent like 15 hours playing
Wow,
Astrobot.
this probably shows you my
Yeah.
PlayStation journey. I think Alan Wake's only 10 because I must have finished it in the new year, at the start of the new year. I definitely didn't
Yeah.
play 10 hours, this
No.
month. Astrobot Platinum, perfect game.
Woohoo!
Callisto Protocol, even 12 hours, and that's with
Mm-hmm.
that's with the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bit like I was ready for it to be over,
Yeah.
which is
But did you enjoy it?
I
What would you give it out of 10?
you kept describing it as Wish, Dead Space,
Yeah.
and I wonder if that sort of like made me keep thinking about things that sucked or things I didn't like.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of things like the telekinesis thing that he had. It didn't feel right, and I never knew when I was going to run out of that. Like it wasn't like a clear indicator, but it sure was fun just slamming them into super conveniently placed spikes just everywhere.
And like all these air vents with all the fans and
And
everything.
I played on easy, Nick, and I'm so grateful that I played on easy because I was just kind of like tapped between Alan Wake 2, Callisto, and some other horror thing I played. Just like
Yeah.
I don't want to be challenged and frightened and scared the whole time.
Yeah.
It was good. It was totally fine.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still never understood the punch out combat, but because I was playing on easy,
Oh,
I'm just
really?
like whack whack whack, stomp. You know what? And there was the stomp thing as well. I feel like there was so little opportunities to knock down an enemy and then stomp them as like a bonus
Yeah.
damage. It was only just the
Was it
stomp to get
once they're
the
already dead?
to get the item.
Item. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I feel the same. I feel like Callisto is just a slightly above average game, but and obviously another one came out a while ago. Was it at the start of it was January
yeah.
2024?
Oh yeah, it's probably pretty.
Oh, sorry,
Prob-
January
Wait,
2023.
no, because
Came out like 2 months before
didn't
Dead
Dead Space came out in December? So January, didn't it? Anyway,
Yeah.
it's just before Dead
Yeah.
Space. I reckon it was 2022 game.
Hmm.
Nick, what's on the little next screen? Roll
Just the type of games that we played.
role
Yeah,
playing.
I spent 45% in RPGs. You spent
So
46 in RPGs.
that's pretty similar. calendar. This will be all right. This will be good.
This will be different. Yeah.
The God of War Ragnarok DLC. I didn't put that on my list. You're going too fast. You're going too fast, Nick.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right. So January, you played Final Fantasy. See, this is where we'll differ. February, nothing. We'll differ.
I got
Helldivers. You could probably I played that with you once.
Yeah, you did. I think Helldivers is very. It's a very, very, very good game. I would just need more friends to play with it. I'd like to download and play it online a little bit more. It is action packed. It is just like full throttle for justice and society and for liberty and it's even liberty. Just the culture all the culture that came out of the game was just fantastic and hilarious, and it's so camp and it's so fun, and I highly recommend Helldivers. Yeah, it's a fantastic game.
Final Fantasy. I played that over 2 months, March and April. What about you?
Yeah, me too. March, April.
And May. Gee, it took us 3 months to do that.
Yeah, 3 months. Is yours 3 months as well?
Yeah, mine's March, April, and May.
March, April, and May.
That's a big game.
I love that we've both got nothing for June.
I think we were burnt out. Like I had my PlayStation fill. Maybe there's something on Nintendo. Yeah. There probably wasn't.
No, I don't think so.
And look, see, I had a bit of a drought. June, July, I didn't do anything.
Wow. Well, that's when. Obviously, there was a little bit of a PlayStation downtime in June, July, because that's when I picked up Kakarot, and I was like, I've got a little bit of spare time, so I'll play that. But then Wukong
took over. That was another 2 months for me. 3 months.
But even
3 months of Wukong. Wow.
I've only got 1 month of Wukong, and I've got 82 hours in that 1 month of Wukong.
You were obsessed. It's a great game. Fantastic.
Oh man.
Did we do a spoiler cast? No, you made your own review on that. That's why.
Yeah, that's right. I made my
Let's be real. Video. Could we spoil that story?
No.
We wouldn't be able to figure that out.
It would just be me just sucking off Wukong the whole time. Be like, this game's so good, everyone. Just play Wukong. That's all that podcast would be.
Silent Hill 2. Oh, did you want to rant about that one, Nick? See, look, we had a horror October, November.
Well, see, I mean, that's the thing, because I bought it with my account. I bought it digitally like an idiot. You can jump in and play that anytime, and I dare you to play it and just tell. So much of it just doesn't make sense. Look, this is something I can feel like I could turn into a Facebook or YouTube short out there. But for all you Silent Hill 2 lovers out there, Silent Hill 2 best game ever. Oh, Silent Hill's way better than Resident Evil. You're all fucking wrong. You're all a bunch of idiots. You're all so stupid. Silent Hill 2, I was so excited to play it because it had such a massive reputation, and oh my god, what an absolute piece of trash game for trash people that belongs in the trash forever.
So it was a PS1 game, right? What is that? The one with Pyramid Head, or is that Silent Hill 3?
No, Pyramid Head's in it. Oh yeah, that's I think the final boss. The final boss wasn't 2 Pyramid Heads, but nothing. It just doesn't make sense. I feel like Resident Evil, at least once the zombies are out, then Leon's like, oh shit, there's zombies, gotta blast them. Whereas the game starts with Ethan, this wish Leon Kennedy. He looks like a wish Leon Kennedy. I'm not like an AliExpress Leon Kennedy.
Nick, there's some guy I follow on Instagram, and he does the worst cosplay, and he's got this week's for Leon and this week's for the Silent Hill 2 guy, and I feel like I've played the game through your frustration and this guy's silly Instagram skits.
But just none of it just makes sense. It gets this letter 3 years after his wife is dead. And it's like, oh yeah, I'll be waiting for you in our special place or whatever. I'll be waiting for you in Silent Hill. He rocks up to Silent Hill, spends half an hour of gameplay running through a graveyard to get to the town with nothing happening. And there's a whole lot of nothing for an hour and a half. And then when you finally come across your first enemy, it's like a potato sack with blood on it and arms or whatever. It's just a potato sack with legs. That's all it is. And you kill it with a 2x4, and then he's like, oh, that was weird. And then proceeds to stay in the town like it ain't no big thing. At least I feel like in Resident Evil 2, you rock up as Leon and the the town is in distress, and he's a cop, so he's got to try and help people out a little bit. And then like Resident Evil 4, he's like, well, barely.
Oh, sorry,
like,
two. He is a cop. Yes, my apologies.
Yeah. And then number 4, he's like trying to rescue the president's daughter, so he actually has like a mission and a reason to stay there. But this idiot Ethan guy rocks up into Silent Hill.
He just puts his hand in holes, doesn't he?
It's just an abandoned nightmare town, and the cunt just proceeds to stay there forever. He's an idiot. The game. All
right, now I'm gonna cut you off there. I feel like this December. All right, go to December. All right, we've both played. Oh, sorry, Shadow's good. We'll come back to Sonic. We both played Alan Wake 2 this month, right? And you tell me. I've done the Lake House DLC. Have you done that one, or you've only done the first set of DLCs?
I've done both. I've got 100%.
Oh, you got both.
Again,
all right. Well, I thought we were gonna have different experiences to talk about then, but I guess let me tell you about the Lake House then. I think I played on normal. And then I'm like, I've just finished Callisto Protocol with all this horror crap. I don't need this with the painted and the stupid flash screen jump scares. I'm like, I just want to get this shit over and done with. And I just enjoyed reading all the emails and like the office trash filth relationship whatever the Lake House thing was. And like that was the most fun bit to me, because I just didn't want to engage in the combat, or just wanted to feel powerful. And so it was a pretty good reward where the relationship just turns even more sour. What about does it like, I want to play the other DLCs? I reckon they're more fun.
Absolutely. The other 3 DLCs, I completely agree with you. I think the Lake House DLC, kind of boring. I really wasn't into it at all either, but I played it just because I loved Alan Wake so much. And like, it was fine. It was a competent sort of, 2-3 hour little DLC of horror or whatever. But I don't really think it was anything special. Whereas the Night Springs DLC, Jeffrey, when you play that, I think you'll agree that is fun and unique and special. And it's this episode 2, not so much. But episode 1 and episode 3, fantastic. Absolutely love them. You play as 3 different characters each time, and it spoiler alert for anyone who's out there, but it links together the characters from Control and
Quantum Break.
And Quantum Break, exactly. And just like this really sort of meta way of you have to play them. Absolutely have to play them. Each episode will take you an hour each. So if you just find like, a Monday to Friday where you got an hour spare each night, play one episode, then the next episode, then the next episode, I guarantee you'll love it.
I intend to do so.
Yeah, the Lake House, lame. It's not that great, but the Night Springs, so good. Play that DLC.
I don't foresee me playing the PlayStation for the rest of the month.
That's all right.
I'm pretty.
I hope you get back to it though, because I think you played.
DLC. I think I will play those DLCs. Here we go. What's the next screen, Nick? Oh,
holy moly!
You double my playtime.
More than double.
Games played 12. Games played 20. 12 is generous. I think I would have like touched 1 or 2 things for an hour or something. Not even an hour.
Double the games almost, but significantly more hours in there. Holy moly!
And what's on trophies? I think you will smash me in the trophies. You should be double the trophies, right? No, not quite. I got 2 platinums. What did I get? Astobot and something else. I wonder what the other thing was. Does it tell you?
It wasn't Wukong.
No, it wasn't Wukong.
Let's have a look. If we go back to... Scroll back to like the months you played. Let's see, what did we say? Final Fantasy, no. Kakarot, no. Wukong, no. I don't know. What do you reckon it could have been?
Who knows? I'm not worried.
Oh. Yeah, I love that. Got 7,000 trophies. Remember back in the day when we used to be like semi-close in trophies and then...
I've given up on that. What about the social stats one, Nick? I think it's the... Go one more. Uh-oh. Oh, here you go. 33 multiplayer hours.
Yeah,
You know what? That's not a lot for you. That's definitely Helldivers.
it's definitely Helldivers. Yeah, that's all it was. But
And
it's funny how like we're not this type of gamer.
yeah,
This will be very different. This will be very different for me next year because we've got Monster Hunter coming out. So I imagine maybe you'll play these figures will be a little bit different for us.
maybe.
But like, but we don't make new online friends, and we don't like who sends messages with their fucking PlayStation. No one does that. Surely no one does that.
Clearly, I did it once.
Yeah,
Somehow.
yeah.
And I don't think the next one's relevant in any way.
I don't. Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
And this is the last screen, I think.
No, you got one more. There we go.
What a year!
I'll tell you what, though.
That's a nice summary.
I guess. You know what? We already we got to talk about this though, because I know we already did a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth spoiler cast, which you can find at youtube.com/Nick&Jeff. But I think it is a very, very real possibility that this game will win Game of the Year, and if it does, I will be absolutely furious. Like surely,
I think. Okay, so like the people that do these things play the games and they don't play them to completion because their job is to be across many games, right? And I don't think they're the ones that think that, oh, I've got to do every single thing in the area before I move on to the next thing, like you and I, kind of have that. And I feel like if you do that and just do the main story things with a little bit of side quests without the compulsiveness to like finish everything, you'd probably have a good time.
I don't know. Well, even with that, because I feel like you think about, I feel like most gamers, I feel like we sort of fit into the general gamer with this kind of thing. Because you think about games like Assassin's Creed, that Assassin's Creed has 1,000 more tick boxes to do in the open world than what Final Fantasy did.
That's why I haven't played any for a long time.
And like, I feel like the side quests and everything for Final Fantasy Rebirth was still manageable and doable, but like the story still goes from like open world section to then like mini game extravaganza, then open world section to more mini games, and then like more boring story, confusing stuff with parallel universes or different dimensions or whatever. Like it just, I don't think it's a good like combat. Incredible, combat's fantastic. The music also incredible, but the story kind of lame, and everything else in between, the padding is just awful.
I'm annoyed about Zach's thing. Anyway, Nick, I'm going to share my little Excel spreadsheet I've built. So if you can stop your sharing, and let's see if I can make this work.
There we go. I've stopped my sharing.
And why can't I even... Now the panic's on. Where is it? I can't find it. Oh, Nick, quick, entertain the people.
Well... If I can definitely entertain the people for a little bit, provided my Facebook opens up here. So we sent ourselves a little list of all the games that we played. So even though we just briefly mentioned a few there with, I guess, games that we played on PlayStation that showed up in the year in review, there's still a few games that we didn't talk about. So, for example, God of War Valhalla, which was...
oh, yeah, that's one of the best ones.
Jeffrey's like January game. I think we both played maybe, that was maybe a 10-hour experience. And that was so much fun. Like, as far as DLC is concerned, we talked a little about the Alan Wake DLC, but the God of War DLC absolutely shits all over pretty much any DLC I can think of ever that I've played. It was just so well done. The story was great. Just everything about it. The gameplay, the moment-to-moment replaying of Valhalla itself and going through again and again and again. Really, really good. But if I go through the rest of my list, I have a significantly bigger list than Jeffrey. As you saw, I played 20 games. So what else do I have? We both played Final Fantasy VII Intermission. So I guess.
All right.
DLC.
What about now, Nick? Can you see the spreadsheet?
I can see the spreadsheet. There we go.
All right. Woohoo! I've made it work, and hopefully the people can see the spreadsheet too. So. Yes. That was our quick list of all our PlayStation 2 all our PS4 games we played together. Couple double ups. Clearly a lot of more. You played a lot more.
Well, if you scroll back up, you've you've missed a few on your list. So like on mine, you haven't added God of War Valhalla to yours.
I'm surprised. Maybe I did play that in December because I reckon I played it in December last year. I think
when you scrolled through your year in review before, that's what your January game was.
Sure, it wasn't Alan Wake. No, it was Alan Wake.
Oh, sorry, February. It was your February game, February or March. Trust me, I saw it in your list. And then Final Fantasy VII Intermission. We both played that this year.
No, I haven't played Intermission at all. That's yours.
You did? No,
I haven't played Intermission. I watched you.
The one with...
I watched you do the little roulette thing.
Really? With
I haven't played it.
No.
Oh, sorry, Intermission. I was thinking, what's the other Final Fantasy VII spin-off?
Crisis Core?
Crisis Core.
No,
yeah, I was thinking. Sorry, I did do Intermission. That was that was neat.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to play as Yuffie in Rebirth because I feel like I've kind of played that already.
I feel like we played that a little bit today.
And there's definitely some weird story stuff that I'm like, well, I don't know who this sort of handsome character that she's got that turns into like a big zombie in the end.
But what else we got? Sonic Frontiers DLC. That was shithouse. Not worth it.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about Sonic and Shadow Generations.
Yes, go.
Sonic, like, okay, when you were in New Zealand and it just said it's ready to download, I'm like, I'm gonna play Sonic before Nick. He's gonna be livid. He's gonna hate me. And I'm just like, I heard the campaign was short, and so I'm like, yeah, I can do this. And then I did it. Like, I think it took me all day. I felt like I started in the morning and I finished at like 10 p.m. at night or something. But I finished the Shadow part, and like I was totally content. I've played Sonic Generations back on PS3. Like, I don't need to play that again. And how could it be as good as Shadow? Like, he's just too cool. And all his levels are, like, they weren't too long. And I really liked just the little mini hub world. Playing Sonic Frontiers, the hub thing was just too big, and I stopped caring. But the little mini hub world that just kept expanding just that little bit was all I needed.
Well, I know you were mad because I replayed Sonic Generations again.
Yeah, you were wasting your time there.
But when you told me how good Shadow was, I was like, okay, I know I have to get out Sonic Generations and do that first, because I know it's a 13-year-old game, whatever it was I played on the PS3. It's not going to be as good as I remember, and it wasn't. It's really like the modern Sonic levels are still okay. Classic ones I think are no good. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So I feel like the Sonic Generations part is very dated, especially compared to just how good I think Sonic Frontiers was. But then yes, playing the Shadow levels, they are absolutely awesome. Just absolutely awesome.
Great. That's so good.
I think it is probably like the best Sonic game or the best Sonic content out there is now Shadow Generations, which is just like how fitting for this new movie coming out where Shadow's just painted to be this big badass.
Wait, when is that? You never told me when it comes out. It's got to be soon.
Boxing Day.
Oh, that's a good Boxing Day movie.
That's a great Boxing Day movie.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a Nick and Jeff spoiler cast for that one. Shadow did leave a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth by the end, just because of all the
too long. So you had too much Sonic by that time.
Well, yeah, I'd done all of Sonic Generations and all of Shadow Generations, but I did everything for all of them. So every level, every side mission was all S ranked. Every collectible I got. And in Shadow Generations, getting all the collectibles was a pain in the ass.
Well, you got the platinum, didn't you?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound fun.
There's no like map to sort of... I had to follow online guides to check off where all the collectibles and everything were, so that wasn't really fun chasing them in the overworld. It was a little bit Infamous 1 style kind of deal. But I still did it, and I still loved Shadow Generations. Fantastic game. 10 out of 10 would recommend Shadow.
All right, Nick, this is our sort of PlayStation list. So we've spent about half an hour talking about PlayStation. I think we've sort of covered, well, everything we've played, really.
Almost.
There's
one more thing.
What do you want to talk about?
The last thing I want to talk about, I mean, yeah, I've got Resident Evil 4 VR in there. That was fun, but that's beside the point. The one thing I feel like we need to talk about a little bit more, deserves a little bit more love, not Black Myth Wukong, even though I do think it's my game of the year. Astrobot. I feel like we need to talk...
yeah.
I feel like
Okay.
we absolutely need to we need to give some absolute more love to Astro Bot, because looking at the rest of our list, like looking at the games like you played, for example, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, we've talked about that. Not that great.
Astro Bot,
Obviously,
man. All right.
Yeah.
I think after like what games did I play? Like Black Myth Wukong, right? It's hard. It's pretty. Sorry, pretty intense game. Oh yeah, it got easier. But pretty full on game, and then just to have Astrobot as like the pure, joyful thing, and the most of these platformers are kind of based on collecting. And the collecting was like, oh, is it going to be a little PlayStation reward or just like a regular character? But it doesn't matter because they're so cute, right? And I think I really wanted to get everything first time. Get all the collectibles the first time in the level. Yep. And like when you didn't get one, you're like, oh man, I tried so hard. I did everything. But then the game makes it easy for you if you want it to get the collectible. Like, hey, pay 200 coins or whatever it is. And we'll just do a little chirp when you're close. Like, we're not going to tell you where it is exactly. Just, and there was a couple where I'm like, there's no way I would have known to like only go back here after I've got the power up. But it was great. Yeah, but then when you do get the guy, like I can just speed run the rest of the level, like real fast.
Or you can just quit.
Yeah, once you get I didn't know that for a while.
Oh, yeah. Like Astrobot absolutely needs a little bit more love, because it's. I wouldn't be disappointed if Astrobot won Game of the Year.
Oh, I feel like easy chance.
I feel like it is a perfect game for all ages, ages.
And the thing is, it's not very long, right? Everyone can play it. Whereas those other games that are nominated, right, for all these different like Black Myth and Final Fantasy and Balatro or whatever, they're kind of niche and have dedicated fan bases. Right? But everyone loves little Astrobot. Everyone. Like, what do you got to hate?
And the only people that wouldn't love Astrobot haven't played it.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't imagine anyone out there who would play Astrobot and be like, this game fucking sucks. Like, it's charming, it's adorable, it's fun, it's a big love letter to PlayStation. And now, like, because Nintendo was known as having all these iconic characters of Mario and Link and all sorts of stuff. But I feel like, now PlayStation has built up enough of a legacy over the last 30 years that they have a lot of iconic characters, and they have a lot of iconic stories, and they have just all these just fantastic things that they can draw from. And even just the legacy of like that last level where you fly,
all the consoles come in,
and all the consoles come out, all the memory cards come out, all the controllers come out, and it's just like another big love letter to PlayStation, and it's just fun. Like, I feel like Astrobot is what games were made for, and that's that's the type of game that we play games for. It took us maybe 15 hours to get the platinum to do everything, and just like
that's all you need, maybe.
Getting the collectibles wasn't hard. There were parts that were challenging but not frustrating. It's beautiful.
Nick, there's a Christmas present waiting for you on your PlayStation tomorrow with a brand new Christmas level. Did you know that?
Oh, I did not know that. Although I will say this on the record right now, I suspect that Jeffrey has bought me one of these Alamo fucking alarm clocks for Christmas as a present, and I'm telling you, if I get that for Christmas, I'm gonna be so mad.
The thing is, I haven't bought your alarm, but you would so test the alarm out of pure frustration. You're like, I've got to do all these. I've got to try all 72 different alarms every morning.
I don't have to make a YouTube video about it.
And the thing is, alarm. I'm like, I gotta get up. I go to the gym. I got to do stuff, right? I know you sit there and lay there in bed.
I do, yeah. Some days, yeah.
So could you imagine all those, more frustrating noises? How do we talk about alarm? This is about games. Astrobot, great, amazing. Nick, why do I love Astrobot so much?
Because it's short.
It's a Nintendo game.
Oh, yeah, that too. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's the most Nintendo PlayStation game that to ever exist.
Yep.
Half of it's just ripped straight out of Mario, whatever's, and it's better for it. It's good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's just a perfect game.
All right, Nick.
It definitely deserves to win Game of the Year if Wukong doesn't.
What do you want to talk about next? Xbox or iPhone? We'll say Nintendo.
Let's go iPhone. I only have one Xbox game, and I need to.
All right.
Very angry. Like,
Here is our iPhone games on the screen, and I think you can see it too, maybe. Should we just talk about Pokemon?
Well,
or should we say? Should we say? I think we're gonna save our Pokemon iPhone or TCG discussion for another time.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know what? Let's do it when like the next wave of cards come out.
Oh,
which
yeah,
I think is very. I think that's very soon. I think
that's fine. I'm good for that too. I'll drop another $20 on it.
I just talk like quickly. Balatro was nominated for Game of the Year, whatever. Right? I'll try it out. It's on Switch. It's on everything else. I'm like, it's free on. Well, sorry, free on iPhone. It's alright. I don't really have any problems with it. Well, as a Game of the Year, I guess I just haven't been hooked. But the hour I played, it's cool.
Good. That's good. I'm glad.
I think I tried Slay the Spire for 10 minutes before I'm like, screw this.
No, I beat it twice with every character, which was fun.
On the phone? So it's good.
Yeah, on the phone, yeah. Yeah, I played probably like 30 hours of it on my phone, yeah. Let's say, I feel like, I don't know, all the games on my iPhone list, Kingdom Rush, Slay the Spire, Vampire Survivor, Alto's Adventure, Threes, they're all games that I just would like dabble in every now and then for, an hour and half an hour, once or twice a week or something, if that, like if I'm waiting for a train or
I think I really got into Vampire Survivor last year. I played that a lot on the phone, heaps.
Yeah, we both did. And I think that just sort of carried over a little bit for me this year. But I know we're going to do a TCG Pocket podcast, but I feel like we absolutely need to mention, just in general, neither of us had really played or dabbled in the Pokemon trading card game until New Year's Eve last year.
Yes.
New Year's Eve last year, it was just me and you, and we sat in the spa, and then we'd come out and that's all we did all night, was just play the Pokemon trading card game.
That's great.
That's all it was. And I feel like this year, that has absolutely just boomed for us. I have spent probably $1,500 real dollars on Pokemon cards this year in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And you've gotten really, really addicted to the Pokemon TCG live game. And I was really addicted to that. And now I'm very, very addicted to the Pocket version of the game. Obviously, I think you're addicted to the Pocket version as well. But like Pokemon trading card game for us this year has been a massive extravaganza of like, we have spent, I reckon I've spent probably 200 hours, 300 hours playing the Pokemon trading card game this year.
Thinking about the time in general, I've easily spent 20 to 40 minutes like every day. I reckon I've like to play Pokemon TCG Live anyway, and recently Pocket. So that probably is the most game I've played.
That's what I'm saying.
All year. It really is. And I guess I'm happy because I've paid $0. I paid nothing.
I'm a sucker. But like, even just for the sheer hours that we've put into it, like you said, if you played 40 minutes a day, I don't know how many, like, that's a lot. Right?
It's heaps. And it affects my life. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, I play Pokemon. I can't get out of the app. The thing will crash. I gotta keep going. I'm ghosting someone.
And so I know people will sort of dismiss it and sort of fluff it off. It's like, oh yeah, the iPhone games don't really matter. But we've played probably more Pokemon TCG this year, than really any other game. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
I honestly would not be surprised if I played more TCG Pocket and Live than any other game this year. I reckon I've played 200, 300 hours of the Pokemon trading card game.
What I think is a fascinating thing, especially with iPhone gaming, right? Like, we're so used to playing these big console games in the widescreen, but if there is a iPhone app that's this way, I'm less inclined. I'm like, oh, I've got to dedicate my rotating my device, all of half a second. And it's just like, it feels like it's a barrier to play something as well. Because if you're playing something, you can't multitask to go do something else on your phone. You kind of, you're committed and you're stuck there.
Yep, I agree.
Interesting. Kingdom Rush, I think Kingdom Rush is pretty cool. Slay the Spire, I think that seems alright. And Alto's Adventure, classic.
Yeah, and Alto's Adventure is another one that just like, I'll play it for half an hour, and I'll die 3 times and be like, all right, I'm done with this now.
Yeah.
And then come back to it in a month.
And still
So
going
like,
strong on 3s.
Still going strong on 3s. Yeah, every now and then. Yeah, I've dabbled in it. So, but if you haven't played any of those iPhone games, highly recommend.
And we'll see if Balatro wins Game of the Year. Could you imagine the riots that if that game wins? Xbox, Nick.
You go first.
Well,
these are all this month.
These are all like this month. So, you know, I have had no interest in playing. Sorry, I'll put it back to us. I had no interest in playing Xbox. I did not want to turn that thing on for 16 months, and I just got so frustrated just trying to boot the thing on, and some sort of cache crap thing just didn't work. I had to reset. I had to factory reset the Xbox essentially, just to play Indiana Jones, which it's okay so far. Don't love it, but it's all right. But the Lil Gator Game, I don't think it's this year. I think it came out another year, but oh man, it's so cute, and it's just like the what's that little flying game with the penguin where you climb? It's a Short Hike. It's just like this 2 or 3 hour adventure, and just like it's so adorable and so fun. And it's just like a little mini Breath of the Wild crocodile guy. He can climb anywhere.
Is it on Switch?
Yeah, it's on Switch. It's on Switch.
Good.
I mean, if you got Game Pass or PC Game Pass, whatever. But yeah, I would just recommend it. So cute. If you haven't played it, I definitely recommend. You won't be disappointed.
Okay.
And it's only 2 or 3 hours. So, and then I got the Xbox equivalent of Platinum.
How good?
Of what, 1,000 out of 1,000. And I think I want to play Call of Duty. I will play Call of Duty by the end of the month.
Okay, I believe you.
And Hellblade, Nick. Hellblade, you turned your Xbox on for Hellblade 2. Or did you play it on PC?
So I'm going to have you're going to be so excited, and you're just going to, like, when you re-listen to this in your car or at the gym or anything, I feel like you could get off to just how happy this story will make you. So,
all right, I'm ready.
So I sold, obviously, I sold my Xbox, a month when the PlayStation Pro came out, and I only paid $50 to get my PS5 Pro. But I was like, that's fine. If I want to play any Xbox games, I've got an expensive PC with 32 gig of RAM and a 3080 graphics card in it. I'll just like that'll be more powerful than whatever the Xbox was, the Xbox Series S. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it has more powerful hardware in it than what my PS5 has. And so I was like, yeah, I'll just play my Xbox games on that. And so today, Jeffrey, I downloaded the Xbox app, and subscribed to Game Pass.
Oh yes.
I paid my $15.
15. I downloaded. Oh, because PC Game Pass is cheaper.
Yeah, I think whatever it was. I think it might have been $12. I downloaded Hellblade 2, all 45 gigs of it.
Okay, all right.
And I played about 3 hours of it, but I reckon 2.5 hours of those 3 hours was spent playing in the settings to try and make the game run properly.
Yep.
I don't know who these spastics are out there. This is another one that I'm telling you I could turn into a Facebook reel or short. But if you are a PC gamer, you are a piece of shit. And I'm telling like, this PC Master Race bullshit, man. I tell you what, I do not understand where these people get off on saying that PC is just
tinkering
the best
is half the fun.
Tinkering is, oh man, like I was so frustrated that like I said, I spent probably 3 hours playing Hellblade and 2.5 hours in the settings just trying to get it to fucking run. And to the point that I literally have my Switch here behind me, because I was like, I have the first Hellblade on my Switch, I reckon. And so I booted up Hellblade on my Switch, and it ran better. Hellblade 1 ran better and looked better on my 8-year-old Nintendo Switch than what I could get it running on my PC. Now, maybe, look, I'm sure there'll be people out there of the two that watch and listen to this, it'll be like, oh, Nick's the retard. Nick doesn't know how to work his PC. But this piece of hardware down here at my feet allegedly has more power in it than my PlayStation 5. I think even more than my PlayStation 5 Pro. 32 gig of RAM in this motherfucker. 32 gig of RAM and a 3080. I mean, yes, 3080 is not that impressive anymore. It was a few years ago. 3080 graphics card was impressive, not so much anymore. But it's still a better graphics card than what's in the PlayStation 5. And I could not get it running better than Hellblade 1 on my Switch. And so after 3 hours, I flipped the table.
I almost want to troubleshoot to find out what. And like, I've got a little tiny enthusiast Nook PC, right? It can't play games. Well, I think it can, but only if you set it to like 720p, right? And who wants to play in 720p? Well, on this close to a monitor. Were you trying to play in 4K?
No, I lowered it to low settings, to just low overall, and I had it set to 1080p. The 1080 low settings. I couldn't get it any lower, and it would still showed chugged. The frame rate. It's still chugged, and it still looked disgusting. Like I'd see smoke in the distance, and it just looked all, not even. I mean, obviously that's distance stuff, which it's different sliders you can change on, but like just her edges and everything on her shoulders, and like, geez, I feel like I'm almost playing fucking 64 Tomb Raider. Oh, it was just. I was full of so much rage today.
I think
I spent so long. Oh man,
the last PC game I played was that Left 4 Dead, not Left 4 Dead game.
Yeah,
like the wind.
For Blood or something.
Left for Blood. Back for Blood. Back for Blood. And then I was surprised, and I'm like, this looks just like Left 4 Dead 2, which is like 15 years ago, and like I was content with that graphic level. It felt just the same. Probably was the same, but anyway, PC Master Race.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I really don't. But I'm like, you know what? I'll just, if I do ever give this game another chance, which I'm burned from it now. I feel like I never want to touch it again.
I thought you played it when it came out.
No, I wanted to, but there was other stuff coming out. But if it ever makes its way to PlayStation, I'll just play it on my play. Maybe. I'm so angry about it.
Was the first one a PlayStation exclusive at the time, and then it swapped, or was it always Xbox exclusive?
It was like the third video I did for this channel, so it would have come out in 2006.
No, it would have to be. Why? If it was an Xbox One exclusive, I never would have played it. It must be PS5, PS4.
Yeah, it was PS4, but I couldn't tell you if it was exclusive or not.
Interesting. All right.
Anyway,
Nick,
sorry.
I'm glad you had your rant. That makes me happy.
I was so mad.
We're kind of, well, I guess I'm a Nintendo fanboy. You're Nintendo fans. This is our list of Nintendo games we've played. It's kind of funny. Like I've played a bit more Nintendo games than you, whereas I definitely didn't play many PlayStation games. Right? And we're kind of a little bit on the flip side. But I think we both started the year with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We did the DLC. We didn't do it straight away. And it was a reminder of how terrible the game is, but it was fun with friends.
Yeah, it was.
And we caught them all, didn't we?
Yeah, I was going to say, this was the year that I went and I was on a rampage to catch all the Pokemon, and I did. So, like, huzzah. And I feel like you need to do a lot more talking for this one, though, because you've got a much bigger list. And so, because I want to know, I want to know about a lot more of these, because I haven't played Blossom Tales. Like, Animal Well has all these fantastic reviews. I heard all these Animal Well. I think it was is it nominated for Game of the Year? Or it's got to be nominated for like.
It'd be for something. So I guess this is the kind of the order of games. This is the order that I played them in, except for the NSO. Sort of, I had them a bit separate. But Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. Incredible Metroidvania, incredible game. You've played it too. Now I think. It's like, it feels like the combat felt like Super Smash Brothers in the best possible way, sort of. Like, what an incredible game! I really hope that wins a lot of awards. And hearing it didn't sell to their expectations. Like, do people just not like 2D games, or are people just trained so well that it's a Ubisoft game that it will, in 20 days' time, it will be 50% off? Like, it's just
probably a bit of both. Probably a bit of both.
Splatoon 3 Side Order, man, I love that so much. Obviously, I made a whole video about that, so go watch that. Pepper, and then it's kind of nothing, and I played all these indie games, right, Nick? Pepper Grinder, it was fun for 3 hours. I think I saw it on Nintendo Direct and like probably had gold coins left over. So
I'll be honest. When I saw that on your list, I wasn't even convinced that was a game. I thought you just wrote Pepper Grinder on there just for fun.
It's the only, not that I've played Sonic Colors, Ori and the Will of the Wisp. You know how there's like a desert level and you go underneath the ground and you can't stop till you go out.
Yep.
It's kind of like that.
Okay.
It's just short and sweet. It's all right. You're not missing anything. Blossom's Tales 2. That was a Link to the Past clone, I guess.
That's right. That's what it is. Yep.
Again, pretty forgettable. Is it a step up from the first game? The first game, I kind of felt like you should just play Link to the Past. You'd have a better time. But it's fine. It was on, $10-15. Penny's Big Breakaway. That was the people that make one of your Sonic Mania.
Mm-hmm.
They made Sonic Mania and then they made Penny's Big Breakaway. It's kind of like a combination of Sonic, a little bit of Mario. I don't know if I loved it in the end. Maybe it'd be more fun on PS5 with like solid 60 frames per second. It did get a 60 FPS patch, but it wasn't perfect. But it, totally fine game, but kind of forgettable.
So did you you've got it listed on there, Pikmin 4 and Pikmin 3. Did you replay the stories of those, or is this just because we play them a lot?
No, I replayed them. I'll get to that, Nick.
Oh, sorry.
Animal Well is I think that will win some sort of unique Game of the Year award for some category. I think it's a cool experience. It's kind of ugly. I didn't really enjoy the art style, but it was like one dude.
I thought it was.
But then
it was ugly, yeah.
the secrets are so obtuse. Like looking at the internet is not fun.
No,
right? It's not fun. You want to try and do things on your own, and there's quite a few things where I just couldn't figure it out. Or to get like the secret, the actual ending, you have to find all the things, and that's just not cool.
Yeah.
Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door. Again, I think I made a rant about that. Like it's a fine game, but it's just not as good as I remember, and I just had a lot of tedious frustrations, even with all like the little improvements.
Yeah.
And then I think I fell off like a cliff, Nick. Of there's no good games. I'm having more fun playing Pikmin 4 and then playing Pikmin 3 again, and doing them as fast as possible with a few days.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really pick up all the other games I just bought because they're just indie stuff. I wanted to play Dave the Diver, but I really
that didn't look fun either.
I kind of really dropped off that, and I don't see myself going back at all.
Did you end up finishing Echoes of Wisdom?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, you did.
And you know what? Oh, I don't know if my sister has. I'm more excited that my sister's like, I want to be a gamer girl and I want to finish the game. And I gave her one of my Switches, and she just got up to the final boss. She just couldn't beat the final boss, which was really easy. But anyway, she's got this far. Like, I've helped her with like a couple things. I'm like, get this trinket to make your life better.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on wanting to play Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and I feel like some people are gonna be like, oh, it's Nick's sexist or whatever. He doesn't want to play as a woman, but like, I think just with these type of Zelda games, it's not really what I want, and I enjoy them, but they're not like the bee's knees. They're not like my favorite thing in the world. So like when I think of the fact that we got the remake of what's the other one with the same art style?
Oh, Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening, and then even going back to the 3DS when you had
Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask,
A
Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds, and just all these these top down.
I love that one. Yeah,
these kind of kid looking Zelda games that are just, I don't know. To me, it just looked like another Link's Awakening, and I'm like, I know it's not. I know it's got some very different mechanics to it, but I just was like, this isn't what I want from a Zelda game, and it just I'm sure it's one of those things. I'm like, I'm sure I'll play it eventually, but I think Pokemon has just had me by the balls this year, and that's all I've been able to play.
Well, yeah, you played Pokemon Yellow 100%. You've said, and Pokemon Omega Ruby, right? And so you had a modified. You had a modified original Game Boy Advance. Sorry, Game Boy Color. Was that what you had?
So yeah, the original, the limited edition Game Boy
Pikachu.
Color. Yeah. And when I say modified, I pulled it apart and I replaced the screen because
that's like is it? Sorry, I should say you're playing on legitimate hardware, not a ROM.
No, yeah, it's literally. Here we go. Let's pull it out of the drawer here. Ugh. It's literally, I played on an old school Game Boy. I played like 42 hours of Pokemon Yellow. 42 hours of Pokemon Yellow.
How does the original Pokemon hold up? Like, there's all the modern XP share stuff, which I appreciate. Is it still fun, sort of switching out? And you went to catch everything. Is catching 151? How did you do it? Oh, I think you told me this actually.
Yeah, so I had to do like the Ditto glitch.
Yeah.
To catch all the Pokemon that you couldn't get in other versions, which like it was still like a lot of effort and a lot of work, and I feel like it might have been easier if I just grabbed another Game Boy and played through the game again and caught the ones and traded them over.
Is Mewtwo only available after the Elite Four, or can you get to Mewtwo before that?
Well, I'm sure. I think other people will tell you can get him beforehand if you do some sort of glitch. But after the Elite Four is when you can legitimately access Mewtwo. But you know what? I know if you had to give PlayStation a Game of the Year, I'm sure it would be Astrobot, and obviously mine's Black Myth Wukong. And for your Game of the Year for Nintendo, I feel like that would 100% be Splatoon, like you said. But I feel like my Nintendo Game of the Year, the Nintendo game
is there one?
It's like the Nintendo game that I had the most fun with this year was Pokemon Yellow.
Wow.
Like it's as sad. I'm not sure if that's sad or what. Like, and with the Prince of Persia Lost Crown being a very close second, like that was a lot of fun. But Pokemon Yellow just was like it really got me with this massive ball of nostalgia, and it was just really fun to play. And like playing on like the updated screen, just keeping something like that in your pocket that just you pull out, turn on, and then the game starts straight away, and you're into it. It's so good. It's so good, and it still holds up.
What's the last campfire?
That I would highly like if you like your indie games, obviously you do. I highly would
sometimes.
Yeah, I highly would recommend The Last Campfire. It's a little bit like, I don't want to say it's like Journey. They kind of look like Journey. The Journey characters.
I think I know the thumbnail.
But you're essentially going around and like helping rescue all the other little lost spirits, and it's a little puzzle game. The puzzles are simple, but they're not they're not hard. I only had to maybe look up one or two, but I really enjoyed The Last Campfire as well. Like the ambient music and just the general noises and everything as you play the game is very relaxing, and it's highly recommend. Last Campfire, very good. But a Switch game just came out, I think today or yesterday, that I'm very excited to play. But it's currently $50 on the eShop.
$50?
$50.
What's $50?
Give me 2 seconds. You need to vamp for 2 seconds. If I go to my wish list.
I guess the other things, I really enjoyed playing Super R-Type on the Nintendo Switch Online. That was like just chockers full of terrible frame rate and save states. I replayed Metroid Zero Mission again because, man, that game is incredible. And then, Nick, I had the past 3 weeks, I had a crazy fun time playing Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Quest?
Yeah.
Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. It was really good. Like, and I'm shocked at how well the platforming holds up. All the level design is, every level has this unique gimmick or thing, and then you never see it again. Like,
still holds up. How good?
And there's like multiple secrets per level, and there's the flags have 2 little modifiers. Like, you beat the level and the flag goes up, and it's full mast or half mast, or this little dot comes out just to let you know you've got all the secrets or only half the secrets, which is like really encouraging to get. Power Rangers Reader's Rewind. So
it's gotten great.
Good reviews.
Good reviews. The last one I think was bad, but It looks cool.
I remember playing one on the PS5, PS4 with you, and I thought it was like Streets of Rage style, and I was like, oh, I'm so sick of this. What's this one about?
It's another side-scrolling beat 'em up, but it looks like it's done well.
Better?
From everything that I've seen of it, it looks like it's actually done significantly better. And I've watched a few reviews on it today, and it's getting good reviews. It's being received really well, which makes me happy. But it's $50 for like a little side-scrolling beat 'em up on the Switch, and I'm like, I'll wait for that to be.
Well, I feel like they're gonna get those super fans, and then anyone who's not a super fan, they'll get them when it drops down in price.
Are you saying I'm not a super fan, Jeffrey? Are you saying I'm not a super fan?
Well, you can get it. That's up to you. Well, Nick, I watched a 35-minute video with the Red Ranger and the Black Ranger just talking about how much they got screwed over financially in like the first 2 seasons.
Oh yeah.
So maybe I'm a fan too. Not that big.
But for $50 for just like for the type of game that it is, I could understand 30 as like a brand new side-scrolling beat 'em up, but that's all it is. Just like in 2024, that is outrageous, absolutely outrageous. Unless if the game was a 10 out of 10, then I would have been like, all right, $50, you can have it. Huh.
Nick, this Switch list, I think it tells us everything about Nintendo's year. There wasn't that much good stuff. I had to play old games. You barely played, any new games, right? And because
Mario RPG was good.
We're just ready for next year. That was last year. That came out last year.
Well, there's lots of games it's games that we played this year, Jeffrey.
Yeah, it's true. Nick, to wrap us up, I've got one little total. Who played more games? That's not a very good list, but you've played 38 games, or that you provided me. There might be some more, or 30 games you've quoted finished. And I did 28.
I'd be curious to see like the time spent on Switch, because I remember last year it was the same as well. Like last year I spent 600 hours on PlayStation, and you spent 200 hours on PlayStation. But then when we went to Switch, you'd spent 600 hours on Switch, and I'd spent 200 hours on Switch. So
maybe when the Switch year in review wrap up, maybe we can do another podcast then. Maybe. It'd be me talking. Yeah. You probably not much.
Maybe, yeah. But you're absolutely right. Nintendo is just, I feel like, a very sort of sad, dismal year for Nintendo as far as what they released. But it's all just in preparation and wind up for Switch 2, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm ready for Switch 2. Like, my Switch is fine.
Yeah.
But I want new Nintendo games. And the only Nintendo game that was actually Nintendo made was Splatoon 3 DLC.
Splatoon 3.
Everything else is outsourced to different companies, and that's kind of fine. But like, you're not passionate about what's that game? Zelda, right? It's not a Nintendo made Zelda. It's Grezzo, and all the other things
was really good. Lost Crown was really good.
What one? Lost Planet.
Lost Crown.
Lost Crown. Yeah. But that's our games, Nick. We've talked for an hour, I think, so it's probably enough.
Probably longer.
We've spent most of our time on PlayStation and a little bit on Nintendo, and a nice rant about Xbox.
Oh man, that broke me today. I'm still just reeling from it. Oh man, that got me good.
Anything else you want to say, Nick?
Well, cheers. Thank you, 2024, for being as great as you were, and I really look forward to. I can't wait for this discussion next year, because this time next year we'll be talking about games that we've played on Switch 2, whatever that may be.
Man, can you imagine if it does not come out until after May? I'll be so pissed.
But even then, we'll still be talking about some things for Switch 2, and like I'm not sure what PlayStation's got in the works, but man,
I guess stay tuned to Jeff Keighley's Game of the Year awards with world premieres.
Yeah. Well, yes, I'll be excited to see what I'm hoping we get. Obviously, I don't think it'll be next year, but maybe Last of Us 3, maybe some Spider-Man DLC, maybe some God of War stuff in the works. Maybe
Spider-Man DLC has shipped.
maybe Alan Wake 3, maybe something for, Final Fantasy 7 Part 3. Just things that we might see next year.
Well, Spider-Man's over a year old now, right? Do you reckon? You know how they had that Insomniac leak of all like their things that they've got coming out? Do you reckon, maybe there will be like just the standalone Venom game that's just smaller in scope, like a Miles Morales type thing?
Yeah, I could see that happening. I can't. I think they said, no DLC for Spider-Man 2, and I think they should keep it that way because I feel like the DLC for the first game was still pretty good. Like there were good stories in there, it was good content, but not everyone really buys or cares or plays DLC.
I think I only did it because I bought the Spider-Man PS4 and it came included. Otherwise, I don't think I would have. But they were good, and it was timed right. It was just like, hey, do you want another 2 hours of Spider-Man? Do you want another 2 hours of Spider-Man? Like in 2 months' time, like it was just the right amount.
Yeah, and so if they just save those stories and refine them and maybe make them a little bit more streamlined or just better, just chuck them into Spider-Man 3. Just make them part of the content. Make them side missions for Spider-Man 3 instead, and make that game even bigger and better than number 2.
You know what I'd do if I was like Sony? Pre-order Spider-Man 3 on the store. Play these missions early.
Yeah, I could see something like that happening. But yeah, I think that's it, isn't it?
That's it.
Do we have anything else?
That's it. I know we got Nick and Jeff on the wrong things, but tried our best to multitask. You can always listen to us on the podcast platform, so please leave a review, give us a thumbs up, and share us with a friend. And if it helps the algorithm, write a comment on what your game of the year is.
Black Myth Wukong, man. Black Myth Wukong.
DLC. Splatoon 3. Sorry, Elden Ring. We didn't play that.
Yeah, no, I'm not putting myself through that again. No, thank you. I don't need any more of that.
See you, everyone. Love you, Nick. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Love you, Jeff.